Alright, hell yeah. So I'm going to call this trick the early spin. And so we analyzed the footage last time, and we were able to execute this time. So anyway, so we're going to go in for a 180, and we're going to rotate our body before we do a 180. And so this is even before we pry, and so we're using the edging ability of our boat to get it to go around. So that time it worked out really good, and then this time it also works out really good. And I'm going to call it an early spin. It's an easy term to label something, and it's really, I think it's going to be foundational to, kind of R1 spin dynamics. It's because it puts you, after you do a rotation, you're in the perfect and most locked in position. It's really easy to get kicked off of waves, especially like waves compared to holes. So this allows you to be in the best position to grip back into that hole. So we're going to do a 180 right here, and then we're going to be in the perfect traditional position to actually stick that feature. And so it does switch from, your strong side to your offside. And so that's the other thing when we coin the early spin, the early part of it, can also coincide with you're going, so I'm on my left side when I do this early pivot of my body. In skateboarding, it's a body varial, a 180 body varial. But now I'm in the offside position. So that right side position is my offside. Then I'm going to rotate, and then I'm in a new position. That's going to be my strong side. And hell yeah. And this wave, we enter on our strong side, and then so let's pause it now. So I'm entering on the strong side. I'm going to drive down the trough. Here I don't do two things. I don't drive down the trough very well at all. I just kind of go in for this stick and then let the boat drift down the trough and kind of angle over. So this puts me real low into the trough. The other thing that I don't do is heavily edge, so we're kind of getting all tied up here. And I don't edge from the start, so the boat so there's an effective edge, and then that loses it. And so from the one that actually goes, this will be really interesting to show hey, this edging is really good for getting that momentum to drive in an arc. But this first time we're gonna let the boat go in, and now I'm gonna rotate my body. So I'm gonna give up on this paddling side. The paddle, in this case, this is kind of interesting. I should be rotating the other way, but that's fine. The paddle is gonna, come all the way to the inside of the boat and to the other side. But then my body position, is easier. If the boat's gonna rotate the other way, it's easier just to, rotate the opposite way the boat's going. And so this is going to probably be the easier way to do this trick. So now we're going to, so even right here, we're letting this part of the boat go in. It's going to catch, and then I'm just going to rotate my body. Paddle's got to come all the way up and over the boat, switch hands, and now I'm just in this, prime paddling position. This one goes a little bit better. No, this second one's about the same, but just kind of working on switching it up early. And so all of these are kind of catching in a side surf, but that's fine because this is the best position to be in a side surf right here. All right. And then even just right there, then I'm putting this in, letting it hit. It's going to rotate. I'm going to do an early spin of my body. Basically, the early part is the body varial, just early. And then hell yeah. Okay, so these go though. So I'm going to heavily edge. And then drive deep, that extra paddle stroke. I want to heavily edge, drive deep into the trough, get my boat to actually, push up against the incoming face and heavily lean back more, and then I'm just ready in that position. And so hell yeah. So let the boat drive it in, and then just work on rotating the body. So this turn does not require any pry at all. It's just driving in, edging, and then we're just, that edge an edged R1 boat is what is bringing that boat around. And here's a pile. It's got a big smiley face. Drive down this side, and then have a position to hold on the other side. So this move works really good with a pile with a distinct shape like that. I'm going to call it a smile, kind of a smiley face. Hell yeah. And then so for this one, we do what we do, angle, drive in, and then we're going to rotate our body. So hell yeah. And then we're just in the prime paddling position to, kind of that pry, like right here we're in, our pry position. So to get the boat to go drive this way across, that's the prime pry position. We're up against the wave, that's the stickiest. We're driving down, and then we're driving across. And so even this one, we're setting up the turn. But even right there, you see how the setup of the turn, getting real low and down into the trough, was the most important part. So that's why even on this one, what's going to really help this trick is to just get in good position, drive down into the trough. This is the position I would do a pry anyway, which, if I did a pry, this really helps turn the boat. I'm on the high side, but getting into this position and letting this load up, kind of high, this dynamics is going to swing the bow of the boat. And then all I do is just maintain this edge by rotating my body. And now I'm just right, up against the pile. And this puts me on the strong side, and I'm, able to drive in or pry to hold that. So let's take a look at that one. Hell yeah. And those two right at the end were great. You know what I mean? And so that's something that I could be able to just do on repeat. There is no reason that I shouldn't be able to do that move, like 5 times in a row, at least 3 times in a row back and forth, if not indefinitely. You know what I mean? So hell yeah. All right, so let's watch this all the way through. No stopping. So body switch. These ones I'm just that one is a little bit low in the pile, so hell yeah, that one went around. That one too early, I didn't drive down low in the pile, so it's going to just stop at a 180. So hell yeah, heavily edged, get low in that pile. For sure the boat's going to go all the way around, and then I'm switching it up. So get low in the pile, switch my body up. Boat rotates one way, I rotate the other way. Okay, hell yeah. So now, with no commentary, you can watch this all the way through. Booyah.